Hello, 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 everyone. Terry's really squeaky today. Um, Happy Tuesday. I believe it's February 18th. Um, this is Lori Staley. I'm the Addicted Stamper with Stampin' Up, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you've not been here before, thanks so much for watching. I would love it if you enjoy the video, you give me a thumbs up and even subscribe to my channel. I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping while everybody's finding me. Good morning, Carol. And then we will hop into this month's Creativity Delivered class, which I love because it's butterflies and I have a thing for butterflies. But we'll get to that in a minute. Just a quick reminder, we are down to the last 10 days of February, which means you still have 10 days to earn your free card class. This is my Just Cards. You earn it with a minimum $45 product order on my website using the host code. The host code is the trigger. Without that, I'm not able to catch it necessarily. It doesn't pull on my report. So make sure you're using the host code. Of course, if your order is $150 or more, you will get the class for free as well. And that I am able to pull on a separate report. But you'll get the kits to make the 5 cards and a PDF, and you'll have a video. We did the video Sunday night over on my Facebook page, so you can check that out, see how the cards are made. But really, they're created using a lot of dies, punches, designer series paper, and embossing, so that all you have to do if you're doing the kits at home is add your greetings. So there you go. And you can make them whatever occasion card that you would like. Okay. So speaking of, we're down to 10 days, right? I can't believe it's almost the end of February, although I'm very happy because I'm happy to see this winter leave us. Hey, Judy, good morning. In Canada, how are you? Um, how's the weather up there? 10 days left of celebration. Remember, they did add a whole bunch of goodies to the level 1 option, which is free with a $60 product order. So you want to check that out. I know a couple of them are on currently not available, but they are due back in the week of February 24th, which will be next Monday. So you would have 4 days if there was something that was not available that you could still place your order and get that, hopefully. Okay. And we also just released 2 amazing kits. One is the Heirloom Arrangement Kit. This has 8 cards, one of each of 8 designs. Lots of die cuts, pre-cut elements, specialty vellum. You're going to get a stamp block, a pecan pie, Stampin' Spot, the photopolymer stamp set that goes with that, and of course your envelopes, etc. So that one looks really pretty. That one's on the way to me. We'll be doing that one together at some point, either here or over on my Facebook page. And then the other one is great if you don't want to get inky fingers, you're taking it on the road with you, maybe to a child sporting event, or you're going and having coffee with a friend and you just want to sit and make something fun and not have to worry about something to clean your stamps with and the ink getting on something and da-da-da-da. This is a no stamp kit. So it has the greetings, etc., all pre-done for you. You just put the cards together. And that one has 9 cards in it, 3 each of 3 different designs. So those were just released in the store. And then there's still time to sign up for the Paper Pumpkin, February's Paper Pumpkin. This is our 12th anniversary. So that means you get a gift. There is an additional free stamp set in the Paper Pumpkin over and above the one that typically comes with your monthly Paper Pumpkin. So you can give that a try. It's a great month to give Paper Pumpkin a try. It's got daisies. That's kind of an indicator of what's coming in that kit. And if you think you want to give it a try for 3 months so you get a true taste of what's out there, go ahead and grab a 3-month subscription and qualify for a free celebration item. It's a great time before the end of February to make that happen. If you're a current month-to-month Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you can also grab a 3, 6, or 12-month subscription and earn free celebration items. So take advantage of that. And then the other thing that will end on February 28th is our current promotion to become a team member. So you get to pick $125 for $99 plus tax normally. Right now, they're offering you $125 in product. In addition, you would also get to choose 2 of our Stampin' Write marker sets. So the brights, the subtles, the neutrals, or the regals, you could get 2 of those. Or if that's not making you sing, let's say you can get $30 additional on free product of your choice. So it's a great time to think about joining the team. It's a lot of fun to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and you get a lot of great perks. after you get that first kit, that first starter kit, then you get up to 20% off on all product purchases that you make for 3 months. And since you'd be joining in February, you actually get 4 months free. So, or not free, but at that 20% discount. So if you have questions, reach out to me. I'm happy to answer them. I'm no pressure, no stress. Trust me, I signed up for the discount, and that was over 21 years ago. Here I am. This is now my full-time job. So that was a lot of housekeeping. Hey, Betty, good to see you. All right, so we are going to do our Creativity Delivered class. That is my monthly class that comes to your door. Typically, they range anywhere between $32 and $40 before postage. This one happens to be right at $35 before the postage. And it is featuring the Beautiful Butterfly bundle. So this is the stamp set. We have the hybrid embossing folder, and then we have the awesome dies. And this is available when you register for the class. Oh, look, I have an extra peacock butterfly. This is available when you register for the class at a 10% discount. That's my thank you for registering. We're going to play with this die. This is the one that everybody's like, how do I use that? Let me show you. I'll show you today. But awesome dies, lots of standalone dies, as well as the bodies for the butterfly. This is going to create a card for us. So stay tuned to see that. All right, so that's what we're going to play with. I did forget to announce the winner for, I always give something away. Usually it's cards. We didn't make cards the last time. I showed you all the new product that I pre-ordered from the online exclusives that are releasing in March. And so I'm giving away some of that new product. And that is the Natural Matte Dots. And Debbie Franklin is the winner of these. So thank you so much, Debbie, for your support, for watching, commenting, and subscribing, and I will pop those in the mail to you. And I hope you're feeling better, because I know you haven't been feeling great. Hey, Corinne. Hi, Sharon. Good to see everyone. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so we are going to hop right in here. We're going to start with this card. Okay, so it's a birthday card. We always need birthday cards. Now, none of the die cutting or embossing with the Beautiful Butterfly bundle will be done for you in this class, but something like this will absolutely be done. So I used the Countryside Corners to cut the center of that out, and then I embossed it with the Kane 3D embossing folder. I'm going to have to grab a piece of scrap paper here because we're going to do a little blending brush action. And even though I did that card, but I think I did that down at the nest, and I have a feeling that's where my pink blending brush is. So I had to pull out a new one. So we're going to put some Melon Mambo ink on here. I always like to take off the heaviest ink. That gives me a little bit more control when I come in. And I love blending on top of 3D embossing, because to me, it just highlights that pattern that we've embossed into the cardstock. It's the only problem when you're blending on a piece that has the center die cut out of it, right? Got to make sure you're holding it steady. Go back and hit spots where I think I'm a little light. And I think that looks pretty good. So we'll stop there. So you would do the blending, but the die cutting would be done for you, okay? Put that where it belongs so it doesn't go astray, as things so often do on my on my table. It's crazy. We're going to go ahead and stamp the inside. I'm using the Unbounded Love on this project stamp set. You don't have to use the stamps that I use when you're making this at home. You can use whatever you have on hand. But we're going to go ahead and stamp the inside greeting. May all your wishes come true. Unbounded Love is a great stamp set because it's really full of greetings. And we're always looking for new greetings. Thank you guys so much for sharing. I really appreciate that. And then we're just going to put this little guy down here. I'm wanting to check my card because it definitely, I don't know what oh, I got it. It's upside down. Oh boy. It's been that kind of a morning. Shoot. And that's why we never mount before we stamp, right? Try that again. A little bit more intention. Hey, look at that, a perfect image. And then we'll grab our greeting back and re-stamp that as well. There we go. All right, now we'll cover up the ink before I lay my hand in it. I know none of you do that, but I do. Yeah. We can color that butterfly on the inside as well. I use some blends. The blends are also listed um, in your registration if you are so interested in grabbing those. And you can do this in any pattern that you want. This one has a little bit of coloring on it. We have two that have some coloring on it because the stamped images are so pretty in this set that I had to add some playtime with our blends. And when I'm just straight on coloring and I don't have real tight spaces to get into, I always use a bullet tip. You've probably heard me say that before if you've watched me before. Just seems to work better for me. And I don't break the brush tip down. I like to keep that safe for when I really need to get into a tight spot. This is Blackberry Bliss. And then I realized I missed that one spot with the light. Melon Mambo. So there we go. There's our butterfly. Inside of our card is done. I'm going to lay this over so that I get my orientation correct for my greeting. And we're going to go ahead and stamp our butterfly as well. So we'll slide that out first. We'll do this. And I typically don't color on a live because I know it's like watching paint dry. So the big butterfly that we're going to do in a little bit, I already went ahead and pre-colored. These images are so pretty. Hey, Melinda, good to see you. Yeah, I love like the blending with Melon Mambo. I love that, how that turned out. I think so. I've been, like I said, you heard me say earlier, I've been a demonstrator for 21 years, but I've been stamping with Stampin' Up for probably more like 25 years. My mama introduced me to it actually. So my question for you is because I think this is one of the neatest products that Stampin' Up brought out, and I realize there's other alcohol markers on the market. While I don't necessarily use them, I know they're out there. But what do you think one of the best products, for as long as you've been stamping with us, is the best products that we've brought out? I'm curious because I just gave SU some feedback the other day on some things I think I'd like to see them do. But what do you want to see? What do you think was the best? That'll give us a jumping off point. And then is there something that you would like to see SU bring in? Because the one thing I cannot argue with SU is the quality of their products and how they stand behind their products. And I'm going to reverse these colors because I think I just colored everything with the light, where I should have been using the dark. We'll see. We'll see. But that gives us something to chat about while I'm doing this coloring, right? What do you think? Bubble bath. That's one of my favorite colors too. You hear that squeak? Well, you know what that means. That's usually me too, Sharon. Me too. I love butterflies. The Stamparatus. Yes, Melinda, I have to agree with you. I was heartbroken when we lost the Stamparatus. One of the reasons being that I actually was fortunate enough to be part of the team that worked on that product, and brought that to the market. Oops, that's the wrong end. So yeah, that made me very sad when that disappeared on us. Well, no, it wasn't the wrong end. Here we go. We're going to change this guy up too a little bit. So you can do whatever colors you like. This is my Highland Heather. That's what, or Fresh Freesia. That's what I meant to pick up. But that's okay. We're just having a very colorful butterfly here. Yeah, I love the Stamparatus. And truth be told, I still use it. I still have it in my studio and I still use it. There we go. All right, now we do have to trim him out. So anybody else have a product that they really liked or a product they'd like to see us bring out? Good. I'm glad you guys still use them. I know it really was. I loved that we came up with the hinge effect. That was pretty cool. We could do hinge stamping. That was fun. All right, so we have our butterfly. We're going to go ahead and add a little adhesive back here to help hold this in place while we get our greeting and our butterfly oriented. So the butterfly is going to hop up on dimensionals. More, yes, I've heard that before too, Betty. Um, and I agree. And I am on. It's laying right in front of me. I'm like, I had that stamp. I am on my march, as they say, to my million. And I keep thinking about what, if that opportunity still exists, to create a stamp set with Stampin' Up. What do I want it to be and what do I want it to look like and what do I want it to have and all those things. And in some form, it's going to have to be a nod to my mom and potentially even my dad, because she's the one that introduced me to stamping. But she would have also liked more in-depth readings. I can tell you that for sure. Okay, so you also get a full package of the sparkle gems when you get the class, right? These are great because you've got the black, the gold, and the silver. And with the silver, you have the option to color. I think I picked up, yeah, let me get the dark. I picked up the light. You have the option to color your blends, or your blends, yeah. With your blends, your gem, and it picks up that color nicely. So I'm going to do one large and two small. And I never, ever color once I put it on the project because there's no way you can avoid getting ink when you're adding color to these. Blends are the trick for adding the color. They're alcohol based. They do dry quickly. Water based markers, like the ones that you can get free with your kit, if you would get the starter kit this month, they don't dry. So they don't really work. They come off. So if you want to color your gems, then you want to color with the blends. Let's hope we don't need that end anymore. It just went fly. My poor tool here gets, take your pick tool, gets a lot of use, and changing out the tips and all of that. I think you just kind of wear down the plastic a little bit. Might be time to invest in a new one. And now we're going to come back and add some additional adhesive so that we can mount this to our card front. So again, the frame done with the cane embossing folder will be cut out for you, but you'll need a butterfly that you can die cut. Now, I say the beautiful butterflies because I think it's an awesome bundle and I love that it's a hybrid, right? But if you have a butterfly set already and you think, hey, I can make these cards with that set, absolutely. Then you don't need to get the beautiful butterfly bundle. But if you like the beautiful butterfly bundle as much as I do, it might be something that you would like to add to your wish list. And then you'd have a class ready to go. Okay, so that's our first card. We're going to move on. Get this box out of the way. And we're going to do, I call this my monarch card. Oh, thanks, Carol. Thank you, Judy. Yeah, I think we're all in agreement with that. And they did back in the day when we had wood stamps. I've been around that long for sure. That's all we had back when I started was wood stamps. We did, I think, have a bit more versatility in our greetings, and they had a little more meat to them, for lack of a better word. So you're also going to get a half a pack, which is 4 sheets of each of the colors. There's, I think, 8 colors. No, 6 colors, I think, of the Bokeh 6x6 designer series paper. So that has all the pretty colors in it. And then I have just a strip of the meadow, meandering meadow paper, which I'm sad to say has been discontinued. So you'll get the strips for this particular project, but I was not able to get that. I had it in my cart as it retired. Of course I did. So that is gone. But I'm going to slide that over a little bit more, I think. There we go. And then as promised, I already colored this butterfly with our blends. And I used my Wink of Stella on it. So it's real sparkly. I don't know if it shows up on camera, but it sure does in person. And you're going to receive a brand new Wink of Stella with your class. So you get the gems, you get the Wink of Stella, and you get the half a pack of the 6x6 Designer Series paper. You're going to get supplies to make 2 each of these normal size cards that I'm showing you, and then 1 of the little note card. And that is crooked. I had a conversation this morning about my surgery, and I forgot to ask, does it help you make things straight again? I don't know. Never heard that from anybody, but we'll see. So, okay, so we're going to go ahead and mount this guy. So pretty. We're going to do it just about there. And I should have a strip of black, which I do. I'm going to use Tombow for that because I could get my sticky mat out and use my seal, but, and maybe I will. I tested this. Oh, there we go. I'm like, I tested this last night to make sure it was going to flow. This is going to go edge to edge. And then I die cut, and this will be die cut for you in the kit. We have a die cut label. Either he's too low or that's too high, but we're going to go with it. That we're going to go ahead and stamp the hello on. So this is just a nice note card to have on hand. You can customize it at whatever point you decide you need it and put an inside greeting in it, or just write your note in it, right? I did that with dimensionals as well. But that mixed labels die set, well, it's my new favorite die set. I reach for it all the time. Those label dies are amazing. Oh, thank you guys. Oh yeah, I do too, Betty. Yes, on the first card, absolutely. It's such a cool way to bring out that embossed image, right? And then I needed to pull some yellow in, but I didn't want to stamp this on yellow. So all I did was take, and here I am using my brush tip, and just give it a shadow behind it with my, this is Light Lemon Lolly, I'm sure, yes. So we just added that little bit of color behind the hello, pulls the butterfly yellow in together. Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm so glad you like them. If the registration, I did not, I just realized just as I hit the live button, I hadn't updated the description for today's video, so I have to go in and do that when we're done here. So if the registration isn't there for the class and you're interested in it, it will be shortly after we're done. You can hit it. Okay, so that's, and I didn't do anything. Like I said, I left it completely blank on the inside so that you have the option to customize it at home if you like, with whatever stamps you use, or you could just write a message in it. And I like having some of those cards on hand because sometimes with as many greetings, though short, that we have, right? Sometimes there's just not the right one out there. And then we're going to add some gold sparkle gems to the body of our butterfly. I'm going to put that guy in the center and then do that same trick where I'm going to pick up 2 small ones. And I thought they were the perfect bling to add to that to catch your eye, right? So there we go. We've got the sparkle of the Wink of Stella, and then we added those gold sparkle gems along with the 2 black down below. All right. Yeah, I really love Wink of Stella. It's crazy how much I love Wink of Stella. And I'm always looking for ways to use it because everybody's like, well, it's just for Christmas. No, it's really not. I promise you, you can use it for other things. But okay, so let's do this guy next. So a little more wink. Excuse me, so sorry. A little more wink on the embossed background on the butterfly leaves, the butterfly wings. I'm okay. I promise I am. And we're going to do some balmy blue. We're using that bokeh paper again with some smoky slate. Smoky slate is a great neutral. I use it a lot. Do you guys use that a lot? Okay. I didn't really want to do that yet, so we're going to use this to make up for that. Move that out of the way for a second. So fortunately, the storm that we were supposed to get this week is not going to hit us. So I'm very thankful for that. It's going to stay south. So I'm going to emboss a piece of the basic white, the embossing folder. This is a hybrid, and I'll show you on the next project how I cut with the hybrid, but I'm just going to lay it in here for now and run that through. And I'm not dragging my die cutting machine over simply because I don't want to rock the tape. I did try it the other night just to see how bad it rocked it. It rocked it pretty well. So I'm like, yeah, maybe not. I thought maybe being on a different table would give me a little bit more stability, but not so much. And I do know that there are people that are really sensitive to motion. So I don't want to make anybody get seasick, if you will. I fortunately do not get motion sickness, but the very first trip that I earned with Stampin' Up was to Bermuda. It was a cruise. And I just embossed that in the wrong direction. So let me try that again. Um, and it was rough. I mean, it was so rough that they ended up closing some of the decks. It was that rough. And I can remember hanging onto the railings as we were walking up and down the aisle because you'd get knocked right off your feet. You had to hang on in bed at night too. But the best part was the last night we were packing and the ship was just up and down and up and down. And it was crazy. But it would, if you got in rhythm with it, it would help you get to the closet and help you get back to the bed and back to the closet and back to the bed. And we were laughing. We went to the dining room and I literally watched the men, and it seemed to hit the men more than the women. Literally sitting at the different tables, they'd turn green and they'd literally run out of the dining room. It was, I'm surprised I ever went on another cruise, but I did. And I love cruising, and I've been so blessed with SU to be able to enjoy um, such a variety of cruises. Okay, so there is our embossed piece. We are going to grab our Wink of Stella again. And this time, I'm just going to add some wink to the embossed butterflies. And there's nothing like a new wink. I don't have to squeeze it. I don't have to put any pressure on it. I can literally just, and I get such great coverage. Now, I will tell you a couple things. If your wink is getting dry, there's still liquid in there, right? So you can unscrew this and you can, I'm not going to do this whole thing because some of it's going to be covered up. You can add whatever highest level of alcohol, rubbing alcohol you can find, right? So like the 94%, if you can find that, just add a couple drops, not a lot. Be very careful, go very slow. You can always go back and add more. You can't necessarily take it away, right? add a couple drops, screw it back together, and shake, 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 shake to mix that all up. And you'll get a little more life out of an older Wink of Stella pen. So keep that in your back pocket for when you need it. But if you get this class, you're going to get a brand new one. So, and if you stamp with friends, it never hurts to have two because sometimes they don't have one. Okay, there we go. We've got some Wink on there. The other thing I wanted to tell you, and of course I can't show you on this one, but when you get your pen, you do know that black circle has to come out, right? So you unscrew it, pull that cap off, and then screw it back in. And that's what puts the plunger, for lack of a better term, down into the barrel of the pen where all the liquid resides. And then you give it just a small squeeze to get it started. And then but squeeze over something because sometimes your strength is more than you think it's going to be. And it will give you a little bit more coming out of the brush tip than you intended. So make sure you're squeezing over something. So those are my 2 tips for you with Wink of Stella. Plus, you can watercolor with Wink of Stella, and then you have a sparkly watercolor effect. It's just a great, and I do have a separate Wink of Stella that I use for watercolor because it does stain the brush and, you know. So here I did go ahead and do the hybrid with butterfly, so it embossed and die cut, and I'll show you that on the next card. This is card 3. And again, you'll get 2 of each of these. Supplies to make 2 of each of these, I should say. And I'm just putting a little bit of glue where I have the most solid sections. You'll get a piece of cardstock to cut your butterfly out with. Okay. Guess what Lori did not do on this card? I just saw it. I did not put that strip there. Not only did I not put that strip there, I don't have that strip cut. Let me grab that and do that. And I did cut a body for him because I wanted that blue body to go up there. So we're going to add that before I knock it on the floor. This is a new one of these. I got a second one because I left my other one down at the nest. And if you're new and you're watching me and you don't know what the Nest is, it's a retreat house that I own down in south of Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And we were down there this past weekend with friends for our Galentine's weekend. That was fun. And thinking everybody had a good time because they all want to come back. So that's always a positive, right? And then I'm heading down there this week because the storms are not coming so that I can do open craft day. This is what happens when your husband's home and he's in your studio when you're prepping for events. So I'm blaming him that he distracted me, and that's why I forgot to cut this piece. There we go. And then we'll grab some balmy blue to back it. All right. So that goes down first before you add your designer paper. And the little For You comes right out of the beautiful butterfly stamp set. Everything but the first card, any of the greetings, all come out of that stamp set. So you don't even have to have additional stamps. if you grab that. And again, that's at a 10% discount on the registration form. And then I'm picking up the shipping on any of the other products that you might not have that you want to add to that registration so that you're not paying that additional 11%. All right, there we go. Here we go. I'm going to put adhesive just on the body of this guy so that the wings have a little flexibility. And then the four, and I'm being real brave, right? So everybody say a prayer that this stamps the way it's supposed to. It did. I'm going to add some of the little silver. One right here on the body, because you know I like to do them in odd numbers, right? One there. And one there. There we go. And again, this one I left blank on the inside as well, so that you have a note card that you can use for whatever your need is. But you can add greetings as you create them, or keep them in your stash as blanks for when you need something specific or special. There. And there we go. That is our third project. Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, those cruises are crazy. All right, so there we go. Yeah, somebody said to me last night, because I had this up at club last night so they could see it, that this could even be a wedding card. And they're absolutely right. It could be a wedding card. So there we go. Okay. Next. Now you knew there had to be a purple one, because if you follow me, you know I'm a purple fanatic, right? My bedroom was even painted purple. I was in 4-H more years ago than I can count. And I took a home interior course or whatever you wanted to call it. Oh, thanks, Betty. And we redid our rooms. We had to redo our bedrooms. So we sewed our curtains and our pillows and shams and painted and the whole thing. We had to do the whole thing, which was kind of fun. I'd never done anything like that at that point in my life. And I picked purple. And God love my mother. She left it alone so many years after I was already gone from the house. All right. And black always makes our subtles pop, right? So fresh freesia is our card base. And then I cut the detail butterfly right out of the layer that nobody's going to see, right? So it's a money saving tip. It saves weight on your cards for your mailing. And then this is yet another piece of the bokeh paper. That side's really pretty too. It's hard to pick sometimes. Let's see if I get this on here. I see red on my adhesive roller. That always says, oh, you're going to run out. I cut the body, which is hiding from me. Well, I did cut the body out of there, but the body flew away. So we'll just go without that. And the thing that I love about all of that is I literally go through these kits before I go live, and it's there. And then when I go live, it's not there. And we're going to stamp Time to Celebrate on there in our memento. So use those layers to cut out your pieces and save yourself cardstock. Because for the body, we all have scrap. So I'm sure you probably had a piece of scrap that you could cut that body out of. But for the butterfly, it's a bigger piece. So if I can save myself that, I'll have my cardstock lasting longer for other projects. Look, you can tell I love purple. What's on my fingernails today? I had no intention of putting purple on my fingers when I went yesterday to get them done, but I kind of like it. Grab our dimensionals. Add some of those. I'm going pop happy here. We're going to stop. Let me break out them all. I'm going to put that right up here in the corner. Okay. Then I have a large piece of fresh freesia. The die is the open butterfly, obviously. And we're going to line that up and get that locked into place. It is usually the side that has the Stampin' Up! Logo on it. So you can see that on the opposite side is the side that is going to be where your die will kind of lock in place. I mean, if you drop it, it's obviously going to fall out and all of that, but it definitely, you can definitely feel that it's set in there. And then this is just like our 3D folders, right? It is a hybrid bossing and folder. It is a 3D, so it's just the base platform and the specialty plate, which might be the gray plate that I use, or it could be that acrylic blue plate that was our original specialty plate, right? So that is that easy. And then you get a beautifully embossed and die cut butterfly. And I haven't thrown these away because I'm trying to figure out I can do something with these. Even if I lay a designer paper back there and do a body, that would be pretty. That's a good idea. So don't throw something like that out right away. I know we all collect tons and tons and tons of pieces like that, but something that big and that pretty, I'm sure I can figure out something to do with it. So more Tombow. This would be great with adhesive sheet. Okay. And again, I'm just putting adhesive down the body. You could do this with dimensionals if you wanted it to really pop up off the page. I wish that black body that I cut would show itself. And the minute I get off the live, it'll appear. That's typically what happens. But it is not. So I would put a black body on there and then put the black, larger black bling in the center of the body. But for right now, oops, that is, where's the little guys? There they are. I'm just going to put these in the corner. Okay. So there, we'll put the one I did previously. I'm still looking for that body. So yeah, there's a black gem right in the center there. And then we're going to stamp happy birthday on the inside of this one. And again, this happy birthday comes directly from the beautiful butterfly stamp set. I like that. It's a nice, small, straight lined greeting. And I tend to use those quite a bit. So that's a good one. And that's the end of that adhesive. All right. And you could stamp a butterfly down here like we did on the first card and color that in with some colors that coordinate with your bokeh paper. But there is 4. So those are the 4 that you're going to get enough supplies to make 2 of each of the cards. Okay. Where's the other one? 1, 2, 3. There it is. There's the pink one. Okay. You'll get 2 of each. So you have 8 cards there. And now I'll show you this cute little note card. So we have a die in that die set that will create this for you. So let me show you how that works. So I have just a regular standard piece of cardstock. You wouldn't have to make it this big. This will actually work with our actual note card size cards and envelopes that we sell. But I like having the full size card. So if you're wondering what this guy back here is all about, this is the die that will make this little note card. And I'm hoping you can see this. There is a line, a metal line right there and right there on both sides. You can also see it, hopefully, depending upon all the lights hitting it, I'm sure, back here. That line is your guide whenever you're doing this. So if you want to just have the card front, you're going to line that line up just below the fold, right? So if I do this, I'm just going, my card front is going to cut all this away, and the card front's just going to be the butterfly. But I wanted to create a note card with it, so I slid those lines just above the fold of the cardstock. And I'm going to grab my Post-it note tape to help hold this in place. So I actually cut 2 pieces. I'm going to do the one I need first in case I mess it up. I have a second one, and if I don't, I'll show you what I mean with using it as a card front. But I'm going to get it. And because it's cutting out, it doesn't even necessarily have to be centered, right? Who has this? Does anybody have this bundle yet? If you like butterflies, it's a really cool one. All right, so I'm going to just run it through like I would a regular die. Okay. So I'm going to have my platform and my plate 2, and then my cutting pads. Bring that in here in 1 second so you can see what I mean. And I'm going to run it forward and backwards. Since I'm cutting through 2 layers of cardstock, that should do it. So just your standards, and please forgive how messy mine are because they get used so hard by others. Your platform, your thin die adapter, your very cut up cutting pads. Okay, that's your thin. And then we'll bring this in here. Carefully pull off this tape. I used to use washi tape, which works fine too. I just have to always remember to dab the washi tape on my jeans or some surface to remove some of the sticky, because so often it will tear my paper. And there we go. There is our cute little note card. We've got our cute little edges at the top. How cute is that? But if you want it to just be the card front, then as I said, now it's going to be important to center it, right? Because you want it to be in the center of your card front. And your lines or your edges are going to be just below the fold of your paper. Where when I did the last one, it was just above. Now it's just below. And again, I'm going to center that as best I can, eyeballing it. We'll put some washi tape. We'll put some Post-it note tape on there to hold it in place. And we'll cut this one. Same sandwich that I just shared with you. Okay. Except that remember to open your folded cardstock. Because Lori didn't, but we're still going to go ahead and do this so you can somewhat see what that's going to look like. Yeah, I thought of it halfway through. So I won't be making a card with this one, but that's okay. This was just to show you how it works. Yeah. And then what you will do, because this is all cut too, right up to the line. Where's my snips? So then you'll just snip away. And I might not have gotten this lined up perfect because I don't remember having to do that the last time, but you do want to snip this part away. That should be the only part that you have to snip away. But I think mine slipped when I realized I didn't have it lined up correctly. But then this is, pretend that's a solid piece there. And that's what your card looks like minus this little doodad that's hanging out. There we go. So you've got your folded edge and then your card backing. So what I've seen is I've seen people putting just strips across here. I hate that that's cut, sorry. And then that's where they stamp their greeting and stuff. But then you just have a card front that looks like that. I know, I love them too. I do too. Good, 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 good. Yay. All right. So that's one way to use it. This is the other way, which is to create this note card. Again, I just used the solid and the die cut to create my Pretty Peacock and Lemon Lolly butterfly. Dark on dark. Not the best. Now, I did not go ahead and create a body for him because he's going to fit on here. And I actually snipped off his antennae. He's going to fit on here, right up to the top edge. And then I'm going to put the greeting across there. So I didn't think I really needed the body. The other thing I did is I took the wings and the Daffodil Delight. Make sure I get them the way I want them. And I just added a little detail to the wings. And even though I wasn't necessarily seeing the best, I added them up here as well. Okay. So we have a little detail, and then we're going to bring in, and it's just the little circles and a little bit of this inside of the wing there showing. So that's kind of cool. Oh, I need a new one. Then I have one. And you could use glue to mount this or seal, whatever your preference is. I just want to make sure I'm lining up the body and the neck on the butterfly. And there we go. And then I'm going to grab the happy birthday back and Pretty Peacock ink. Mine's looking funky. Still works. But it might be time for a new one. We'll see. I'm going to stamp it on the back first just to make sure. Oh, it'll be fine. I can tell by looking at that, it'll be fine. Okay. I love Pretty Peacock and the yellows together. I really was pleased with the way that turned out. And you'll get a couple of the Pretty Peacock gems in your kit as well for your note card. Since that's what I used instead of the sparkle gems, I wanted to tie in that peacock in the background. And then here's my Let's Celebrate. We can swatch that off there. It didn't want to open. Or Time to Celebrate, this says. I think Let's Celebrate's in a different kit. And it just fits directly across the butterfly. Time to Celebrate. So there we go. There's the note card. So that could even be like a gift bag tag, right? You could punch a hole, string some ribbon or thread through that, hang it off of your gift bag if you wanted to. Make cute little note cards in 4 different colors with small envelopes. Gift that as part of your gift. How cute would that be? So that is the final project for my Creativity Delivered this month. Again, the class is $35 and includes the Sparkle Gems, the Wink of Stella, and the Bokeh half pack of the Designer Series 6x6 paper. You're going to get supplies to make 1 of the note card, and then enough supplies to make 2 each of the 4 regular, what I call regular size cards. $35. If the registration link isn't below, it will be shortly. My apologies for that. It was a crazy morning here, dealing with the doctors and all of that fun stuff. So, hey guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. I'd love it if you give me a thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. It tells YouTube that you like what you're seeing and allows me to reach more people. If you want to register for that class, again, you'll see that link below. If it's not there now, it'll be there shortly. And I appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me, and have a great rest of your Tuesday and a fabulous week. I will be live on my YouTube channel Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're around, hop on and join us over there. Thank you guys. Take care. Bye.